What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Last Week in Rugby on the Bonus Point Rugby podcast. Once again, I'm your host, TJ Olsen, and Super Rugby AU is officially in the playoffs. I can't wait to talk about all the Super Rugby games, the amazing North-South game, and the naming of the All Blacks. Oh my God, I'm so juiced after the weekend. But as usual, before we get stuck into talking about the games over the past weekend, I want to thank our amazing sponsors. First off, Whalebird Kombucha. If you're looking for a great tasting beverage that is actually good for you, go try them out at your local Whole Foods, Air One, and other health food stores. Secondly, I'm proud to announce that the Bonus Point now has a new partner, and we're partnering with the Rugby Nation. They're a business that is providing strength and conditioning programs for rugby players that includes pre-season, includes in-season, and post-season. So it includes all your rugby knowledge and everything to do with that to prep you for any time in the season. Also, they have colleagues like Todd Clever, former US captain, very famous man, obviously in the US rugby sector. I will be sending out a link for everybody to maybe get a discount or some great deal on getting some conditioning programs, so stay tuned for that one. All right, so hectic weekend. We do apologize for recording pretty late because it's been a hectic week for both of us as well. Very busy men. We've been keeping busy, but obviously we've got our boy Hulla, aka Novo Capote, on the show. What's up, bro? How we doing?
What's good, bro? Salutations. Good afternoon, evening to everyone out there in La La Land. What's happening?
Yeah. Love Lala. You've been a busy man. You've been recording. You've been filming music videos. You've been training hard. What's going on?
I haven't had any time to have some scotch. So I think after this, we finish this podcast. It's Friday afternoon out here in Australia, so they have to open that bottle of scotch I've been trying to open for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Bruss, there we go. You've earned it. You've been working hard, but
I should save it for when the Reds make the grand final. Who knows? I don't know. I'm confused at the moment.
Why wouldn't you just buy another bottle? I mean, come on.
We're in COVID, bro. I've got to. I'm budgeting. Okay.
Fair enough.
In case you didn't know, like, you're either super rich as a musician or super broke. There is no in between.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I think a lot of people
you're either popping bottles or you're not. That's it. That's it.
Well, I mean, a lot of people can relate to that. They're going through that struggle at the moment. It's rough for a lot of people out there. I'm definitely feeling that one as well. But I'm back to working a 9 to 5 to pay those bills. So yeah,
got to pay those bills. Got to pay my telephone bills.
But let's get stuck.
Kelly Rowland over Beyonce every day.
Oh man. Okay, let's not open that can of worms.
King of controversial. Also, the Lakers are going to choke today. So. Stop it, Hulla. Stop saying these things.
Why are you doing this to me?
We want fans. We're not trying to lose fans.
Everyone's sitting there going, I love LeBron James. I love Beyonce.
Dude, honestly, though, like, so I don't know if you've been paying attention. This is a live stat. 58 seconds to go in game 4. Lakers are up by 5 with 58 seconds to go.
They should be rolling through these guys. Like the Rockets, after the way they played against OKC, they do not deserve to be within 5 points of each other. Like
Here's the thing. I think non-rugby related, but sport nonetheless. Yeah. I think if OKC went through, Lakers would have rolled them. They were swept them.
Yeah,
I think the Rockets. Oh, dude, it's over. 108, 100, 34 seconds to go. I bet you LeBron. I'm not even looking at the stats. I hate LeBron James so much.
Really? We've never spoken about that before. You don't like LeBron James?
Oh, no, we haven't discussed. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I have a very strong distaste for him.
Oh, shut up. We're not going to listen to this again. I'm sick of listening to your hate of LeBron James, especially when I've got Lakers.
I don't hate anyone or anything, but I strongly dislike him.
Okay, yeah, that's what I used to say when I was a kid, so I'd get out of trouble.
If he was on fire, would I help? It's like, regretfully, I would. Like, regretfully. I don't wish death upon him. I also don't wish him success, though.
You're a bastard. Okay, let's stop losing fans and let's actually chat about.
It's just jealousy. That's all it is. I'm okay to admit it.
I've said that before, but let's not talk about that. But let's jump in and talk about the rugby. So, Rebels. So, Rebels, in the first time in their history, they are going to a Super Rugby playoffs, and the Queenslander in me is cheering because New South Wales aren't going to the finals. It's freaking amazing, and Matt Timur played his heart out. Like, what did you think of that game over the weekend?
Okay, that was an ugly game. Big props to the Western Force who came. Dude, they were winning that whole game except for the last 10 seconds. It's a crushing blow to the Force. that game was really good. It was, look, do I feel that the Rebels played good rugby? No, but I also think that their game was disrupted by the Force because the Force are playing that good. But a lot of heart from the Rebels, man, and they were denied a couple of tries, and some of the calls towards the end of that game were very 50-50.
Yeah, we've spoken about that. Like the refereeing has been, it was pretty inconsistent to start off. Then it got a lot better, and it started getting the ball rolling, and everything was going in. I saw a couple of those calls, and I was sitting there going, "Nah, mate, you've got your head screwed on backwards. That was terrible."
Yeah, and particularly in the last 5 minutes, the calls that the Rebels were getting, I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is dodgy. But they got the job done, thankfully. And it's going to be a great semi-final against the Reds this weekend.
Well, yeah, I'm very excited for that. But I think we'll have a chat when we speak about the Reds game about how they'll fare in the final. But let's talk about the Force. So the Force obviously have had a pretty rough season in the wins and loss column, but they put together a lot of great performances. And one man who may not have been the most consistent fly half, you never say he never plays without heart. So that's John O'Lance, obviously. So someone
Yeah,
who
dude,
makes
100%.
some spectacular plays. He's always willing to put his body on the line. Like
Yep.
I saw one play where they were 5 minutes from the line, and he was the first one out tackling one of their biggest forwards. He does not care. He's
No.
always willing to go. So
Yep.
what did you think of him on the weekend in his final match for the Force this season?
I think he made some crucial errors throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
But I also think that, yeah, man, but not out of not trying, not out of, giving 100%. He busted his ass. And I think defensively, he lifted that team. You know what I mean? In a game of rugby, when you need players to lift and to help lift the team, it's not always doing something marvelous in an offensive way. It's just sometimes it's just defensively just being a dog, getting in that fight and just
He's always had that mongrel in him where he's just going to go and wreck people, and he doesn't care what it does.
He stood up, man, and I thought he had a great game. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And dude, the Force deserved to win that game, and I'm more than happy to admit that.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Their forward pack, and the only reason why he got to be able to play the way he did was because their forward pack, for once, just played for 80 minutes, man.
Yeah.
They really did play for 80 minutes. Dude, that try the Rebels scored, good for them. They played the full, 82 minutes. But it was, I wouldn't say controversial, but it was, even though there were some calls prior to that were, I think it was a lot of luck on their side, on the Rebel side, to get that try. Do you know what I mean? So I did feel for the Force, and I did feel especially for John O'Lance because I thought he played really well.
Yeah, and that final, I think it was a final play that kind of switched it around to get the Rebels that W, and then it was such a close margin too for New South Wales. If the Rebels would have lost by a try, so it was a 4-point margin, the Waratahs would be in the finals right now. So I think that it's definitely a lot of luck on the Rebels' part. You are right about that. But I think when we speak about the Force, although they didn't get any wins in this competition, you really saw how much it meant to them at the end of the game. You saw some guys. They were sitting down on the goalpost. They were devastated. But on the plus side, you've the opportunity for them to play in the Wallabies. We saw one of our friends, Faleti Kaitu, who he was named in the Wallabies squad.
Well deserved.
100%. So I'm glad that Dave Rennie got a glimpse into that talent pool that the Force have. And we were speaking about. Well, I was actually messaging Faleti today, and I was saying it's crazy how we had this chat on the podcast a couple of weeks ago about how it's a dream of mine to make the Wallabies, and now he's in the squad. So I know that that's not a done deal. I know that there's a lot of hard work that's ahead of him, but I said I know you're ready for it, and we sent it out in the universe. We were saying he deserves to be in that Wallabies squad. So
definitely.
Yeah, what do you think about those three guys named?
Dude, all three well deserved. With no bias, I think Faleti 100% deserves to be in that squad of 30.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just think the way that Rugby Australia is going, they need to start introducing and he's not a young guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not 22. Do you know what I mean? This guy is rugby bred. He's played the hardest rugby, like Kiwi club rugby.
Yeah.
And he's come into Super Rugby and he's made his stance this year. But all three definitely deserve their spots. Do you know what I mean? And We'll get into the squad a bit later, but yeah, man, I'm super happy for all three. They've all had an outstanding season, even though I've had a complete mind blank now. He missed out on like 4 games just because of injury, but deserves it nonetheless. He's given his heart and soul to Western Force, and he's played really well. But yeah, 100%. Man, as soon as I saw that, I was over the moon. I was like, this is so. We know how much that means to him, and no doubt all three. And I'm super stoked, bro. And just going back to the game, I've said week in, week out during our podcast that the Force haven't been able to put 80-minute performances together. And we saw an 80-minute performance in an 83-minute game. Do you know what I mean? And it's a cruel blow. But not that they didn't play for that last 3 minutes, but I just think I was stoked at 80 minutes. I was like, holy crap. And I was like, even though I wanted the Rebels to win for the sake of the Waratahs not making the final, I was over the moon. I was watching the game with my pops, and we were literally laughing with happiness. We were like, wow, they did it. Like, how amazing is this? And then, the Rebels just sort of pipped them in the end. But, week in, week out, I kept saying they just need to play 80 minutes, not 55, not 60, not 65, not 70. And we saw a classy 80 minutes. And, the rub of the green just went the Rebels' way.
Yeah. No, but imagine what they can do is, say if next year, if the Western Force get a proper preseason, they play in Super Rugby again. Like, let's see what happens, because obviously Rapid Rugby is still up in the air as well. Because they've pumped so much into that. Imagine if they can have a proper preseason, they can go into there and they can actually prepare to play Super Rugby, and they can pump a little bit more money, monetary resources into that. They can definitely be on a tear in that competition.
Dude, and this is the thing, right? And this is like for perspective for other people that maybe not understand Super Rugby. Like, this team got literally pulled in just because of COVID. They weren't ever at March 15th. They were not part of Super Rugby.
No one was thinking about them. Yeah, no one at all.
Do you know what I mean? And so comparatively to the Sunwolves, to the Jaguares, to some of the lower ranked South African teams who put in years worth of resources and sorting out players, you've got a bunch of kids on the west coast of Australia who have nothing to do with Rugby Australia, who don't play against these high-level Super Rugby teams, have just come together in literally the space of 8 weeks to compete at the highest level of rugby, club rugby or top tier rugby, and they're playing ample opposition, and they're not getting swept. They're putting in quality games. Now you give those kids, like you just said, TJ, funds and a proper preseason with, and again, nothing against the coaching or anything, but they were playing a different style of rugby with different rules compared in Rapid Rugby compared with Super Rugby, and you get them a whole preseason and used to gameplay. I'm telling you right now, we've said it from the beginning, they are going to be a dominant force, pun intended, in Super Rugby, just like they were a couple of years ago when they had their team stacked and people wanted to go out there. And they have like loyal ass members, bro, in an AFL state, and they're still packing out stadiums playing Rapid Rugby. Dude, we need that. Like, the world needs that.
That's what Australian rugby needs, especially. It's something where as we've said, we're strong advocates for them joining. I hope that they do, and I still hope that Rapid Rugby still goes ahead as well, whether they move that competition to another part of the year or something else like that.
Dude, you know what I'm thinking? Imagine Western Force being the first Australian team to have 2 teams, one playing Super Rugby and then their development squad playing Rapid Rugby.
Well, that would be dope, because like they were looking at that with the Hawaiian team out here, the kind of lower team to play in the Major League Rugby competition, also have them playing in Super Rugby. Whether that, we still don't know the dynamic with that, whether they had the development team here in Major League and they were playing their top tier team in Super Rugby. That's what you'd imagine. But that would be amazing, because then you have an actual development pool. I spoke about the importance of development pathways and those kind of things the women's game here in the US last night on another podcast. But it's something that, why not? It's something we need to have going in Australian rugby. But we could talk everybody's ears off about that for days. But let's talk about the next clash. So that was the Brumbies and the Reds. And
told you so.
Great matchup. great matchup for one side. Although the Brumbies are on the top of the table, they were outmatched in this one, obviously. So
Across the field, man. No one on that team outside of Pete Samuel was better than their Reds counterpart.
Why you got
And
to steal
even
my
then,
point?
Pete
Why you
was
got to
just
steal my
playing at
point?
level.
Yeah, no,
Huh?
I agree with that. Why you got to steal my point though? That's what I was going to
Oh,
say.
sorry, dude. I'm just too excited. I'm excited.
No, but I know you're cheering for this one because not only because you've got a consistent supporter of the Reds and you want one of your teams to win this year.
Just
Shout
one
out
of them,
Chiefs.
man.
Shout out Chiefs
Bro.
for struggling. It means I have to do burpees this week as well,
Yes, you do, my G.
oh man, my
And you've had a
back's
big
already
week, my
gone.
man. You've had a big week.
Yeah. Hey, burpees might help it, so we'll see. But Liam Wright, he was class personified as a leader. And I always blank. Who's the fullback?
Jock Campbell, bro.
Jock Campbell. Amazing game. When he set up that first try for Wright, I
Dude,
was
that's
sitting
my
there going,
guy, bro.
yeah.
That's my guy. He reminds me of a young Chris Latham, bro.
Oh, that's a good comparison. I really like that.
Right? The smaller
Yeah.
type of fullback, but just like weaves his way in. And then you're just like, and when he gets the ball, it's like he's at full pace. The next minute, he like goes into like 20th gear, and you're like, what the heck did this come from?
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, he's definitely got that 0 to 100 gear, and he's got great handles. But speaking of flashbacks, I saw Chris Sortia score a try on the weekend, and then I saw a flashback of his first ever
try.
touch. And then, so it's good to see that although you've got a lot of young talent coming through, and you've got Brad Thorne developing a lot of young players, you still at the Reds have retained a lot of your great players from previous years.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
been there since what, 2011 or something like that.
2012.
Okay, yeah. But how do you think the Reds are going to fare against this game against the Rebels this coming playoffs?
Yeah, so this is an interesting matchup. I think what we saw on the weekend, like we discussed last week in the podcast, is I 100% believe, non-biased, that the Reds have the best Super Rugby squad in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of them clicking 1 to 23. What we saw on the weekend was the Brumbies completely their play disrupted, both in set pieces and in broken play, which gave the Reds that go forward to get over that advantage line. And when in defense, they were tackling them behind their advantage line. This weekend, the Rebels are a bogey team. When they're off, they're off. When they're on, they're on. The big onus for me is going to be the forward pack, that matchup. And I don't think we need to match them in regards of brawn and strength, but rather speed around the ruck and the maul, and just being the smarter rugby team. Someone like James O'Connor at 10 and McDermott at 9. I think that's where it's going to lie for us. I think watching the Rebels, they tend to weaken around the ruck in your defense line close into.
Oh yeah, we saw that 100% in the Rebels force game. There was massive times when I think it was like a general ABC, like when you're at the ruck and you had what's his name, the bloody number 12, the bald guy that plays for the Rebels. I can't even remember. Meeks, and he's literally standing like. The ruck is here. He's all the way over here, just having a laugh, just waiting for the next play. They score a try right next to him. I'm sitting there going, that's just basics.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying is, if you watch the Reds, right? Sometimes they set a 4-4 pod. Other times they split 2-2-2, and then they'll have like 1-1 at the end. When they do that, this is where guys like Jock Campbell coming in from fullback, Chris Sortia coming in, or Dan Goonill coming in. And that in there lies the problem for the Rebels. If the Reds forward pack can play like they did on the weekend and be fast up off the ball, and they're setting wide or short, that's going to break the Rebels down, and the Reds are going to have an absolute field day. I fear, though, that if the Reds try to muscle up, that they'll get brought into a dogfight. And I'm not 100% certain the Reds can maintain that sort of
over 80 minutes,
Over 80 minutes. I think we have the superior bench. But again, like Ruan Smith, I don't think has been cleared yet.
Well, yeah,
He had to
you've
get
got
COVID
you've got
tested.
in the back line, you've got Pataya starting at 13, which I really like. I think he's going to bring a lot of impact to that. And you are right. There is a lot more, I guess, brawn and strength on the Rebels side. You've got guys like Farmasili, and you've even though you've
Yes,
got Tong and Thor on the other side, you want to go with your strengths. You've got your Liam Wrights and your Harry Wilsons and all
exactly.
those players. They're much more agile. They're able to carry the ball and see those gaps a lot better. So I think if they do stick to their strengths, I do agree with that. It's definitely
Yeah,
something where they'll win that game.
definitely. I think too, like, with no offense to the Rebels, but when Matt Tamua is put under pressure, we're noticing he's not performing. When he's given the space to perform and there's sort of that little bit less pressure, um, he does really well. I
Yeah.
think what a big sign for me is though he's passing off that second man play for he'll take the line first second time, then they run that second man play a fair bit, and then he'll kick short or he'll take a stab.
Mm.
And I don't think on a against the Reds, if it's a high pace level, that he'll be able to do that. And that's where I think the problems will lie for the Rebels because, like you just said, with our back three being agile and let's be honest, more fit, we do have a fit. The Reds have a fitter forward pack. They're
Yeah.
just going to be running at him all day, and if he is the main cog of that back line, the moment he can't perform, it's going to be a headache. And the Reds now have Pataya, Paisami, Afai Saltia, Dangunu, Jock Campbell. So Hamish Stewart at 12 too. So you're looking now like what's going to happen. Who like as soon as these replacements start, your back line isn't getting. You're not getting a second-rate reserve coming on. What you're getting someone that actually handles business and handles business just as good as the guy that started.
Yeah.
So in regard, but the Rebels bench, however, I just feel lack that punch to come off the bench across the
I
board.
do
So
I do agree with you on a lot of those points, but I do think I will challenge you on one is I think Matt Timur's experience and I think what he brings to the table, although the Reds backline are going to put a lot of pressure on him. We saw on the weekend when he got a lot of rush defense and he needed to make those passes instead of what they did earlier in the season where they did a lot of rugby league plays where it was just basically just fake behind the back. They love those rugby league style plays. Matt Timur, he made a great, I think it was the first try they scored. They had the 12 and the 13, they were running their running lines. He just popped it
yep,
right through the middle, through a gap that he saw out of nowhere to their winger, who didn't deserve to have that run through the try, but it was great vision by Matt Timur. So I think that he knows what to do under pressure. Whether he's going to be able to execute that in the same scenario with that back line that you just said, we'll see. It'll
yeah,
definitely, yeah, it'll definitely be something. But let's talk about the Brumbies. So we spoke about it before. Pete Samu, bro, he freaking carried that team on his back. The Brumbies forwards, they were flustered. The backs looked pretty flat. They were all over the place. In your opinion, what was the main thing that was wrong with that matchup?
bro, the forwards got dominated.
Hmm.
That like that's what it.
Easy.
This is
You're just like done. That's all you have to say.
here's the thing. Like the Brumbies' gameplay has not changed, right? In like 5 years, okay.
Hmm.
Disrupt the forwards, backs can't do anything. Here's the problem with that. They have no one in that back line that can actually make something out of nothing. Okay. And by
Yeah,
that, I don't mean like one off. I mean like literally like
consistently. Yeah.
consistently just be like, oh shit, we're on the back foot. Boom,
Yep.
let's do this, right?
Well, because you
What
saw
we
that earlier. You saw that early in the season. Like Lolosio started doing that. He adds a lot of consistency. Although I do like Kunzul, great kicker from the friggin' sideline. Yeah,
Yep.
you are right. There's no one really in that back line that provides that edge. You've got a lot of great talent, like your
Yep.
your Wrights and your Muirheads, and you've obviously got Tom Banks, but they've been great at times, but consistency definitely is
Yeah.
something they've been lacking.
And using Tavita Kurandrani as like, the battering ram, we just saw it doesn't work. He's too slow at 13.
Yeah.
Pattaya, all he had to do was put in a jink and a step or literally just run around him.
Mm.
And it was done. Hamish Stewart running it between the 12-13 channel and then doing like offload. Like there's nothing there. And what we saw was a young, hungry, fit Reds forward pack just decimate a Wallaby scrum. They literally, and again, this is why I think the Reds played smart. It's like, all right, cool. We know we're smarter. We know that we're fitter. Like, let's go. Let's make them run. And, you saw it like the 60-second minute mark. They were just like huffing and puffing. And I was like, and then you look at the Reds and Nella Topo's there and he's just like, all right, cool. Let's scrum down. And I've never seen a Brumbies scrum sort of be dominated, contested and then dominated. They tend to like make some changes in the front row and then they're back at it. And
yeah, it wasn't necessarily like they were getting bowled over. It was definitely as soon as the scrum hit, you can see there's an even contest, but as soon as you take 3 seconds, they're gone. It's just basically see you later.
Yeah. So and the Brumbies pride themselves, and you're right. Like that, what's his face? The half, he was getting the ball in and out real fast, and that is
now, was it Powell playing on the weekend? Is that who played?
No, they had old mate.
Nick White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, no, but it's going to be interesting to see how they go, because obviously they've got this week off now, and they've got the playoffs here. I'm probably picking the Reds to take this one as well. I want the Rebels to get this W just because I like story moments. Like
Fairy
you sit
tales,
there and
bro, I get you.
yeah.
Look, let's agree that whoever wins this game, we want to beat the Brumbies.
Ooh, no. I want the Brumbies to win. Come on. I've got an allegiance to the Brumbies. I want the Brumbies to win the Super Rugby title. Come on. I'm not backing the Reds.
Oh, mate, you're gonna owe me burpees next week, champ.
Mate, I'll do them gladly. But I'm definitely, if the Reds make it to the final, and I'm saying if they make it to the final, buddy. Yeah.
If I could slap you through this laptop, I would.
No, I'm definitely backing the Brumbies. So if it's we have to as well. If you back in the Reds and it's me back in the Brumbies, let's make it interesting, and let's
double or nothing burpees too.
Ooh, we both said it at the same time. Okay, all right, let's do that. All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll have a chat about the North-South game. Oh
yeah,
my
boy!
God. All right, welcome back. So over the weekend, we saw the North-South game take place, and not only was it amazing to see a match with a century of tradition in New Zealand rugby, it was entertaining right down to the final second, and I literally mean the final second. And
what a game!
And for people who are watching this video, if not just the audio version, yes, I did move. The lighting in this room is terrible, so I had to move just to make it more appealing on the eyes. I look pretty good, I know. But yeah. But we knew no one was going to run away with this game. It's definitely, you've got talent on both teams, but it was like the game was scripted, because it was a shootout, back and forth scoring. And
some old
before
school Cowboy shit, bro.
Yeah, seriously. But before I get to my favorite part of this matchup, who was your favorite player or collective in this game? What did you think? Because there's so much, like there were so many good positions. What was your favorite? What was your favorite favorite matchup?
I'm on the
favorite
Caleb Clark bandwagon, bro.
Bruss, how good? How good? Even because it was off the kickoff. He caught that first ball and he ran 20 meters or something.
Bro.
Yeah.
Rico Ioane at outside, him on the wing. Oh, shut me down. That's an Alama Iramia Tana Umanga combination of old. We're about to watch we're watching a dynasty in motion, bro. Caleb Clark is going to be one of the greatest wingers of all time. And he's going to go into the inside center in the next 3 years. Mark my words.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, I've been a very big, although he Ponsonby boy, I love my ponies, but it's putting Rico in 13 the last couple of years. I wasn't for it. I didn't think it was, although he's played 13 in the past, I didn't think he was a very good 13. But he's now grown and he's very developed into that role. He's now one of the best 13s or outside centers, maybe centers in New Zealand rugby at the moment. But my favorite part of that matchup was the battle of the fullbacks. It really showed you take Beauden Barrett out of that 15 jersey, you still have two world-class fullbacks that can step up into any position into that back line, but specifically the fullback. And it's also versatile as well. So if for any certain test, you've got one powerful, tall, who can get distance off his kick. You've got a guy on the other side in Damian McKenzie, who obviously the previous one we spoke about was Geordie Barrett. The other guy, you've got probably one of the best counter-attackers and most elusive players in the game of rugby. And it's just incredible. What do you think about the battle of the fullbacks?
Bro, I think, you know what the best part for me is watching their style differ and how they're completely different. They are not the same. They're not similar. They play two different games, and you're talking like, and these are your dudes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
these are your guys.
Mm.
And it's, I don't like. I just love it. I was just
speechless.
for real. But like you just said though, it's like, what the hell's going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, wait, what? How they play?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, dude. And I you know what I think what they're gonna do is depending who they play is who starts now. Like they've always had an embarrassment of riches. I think Ian Foster now, Fozzie's in that position where I think the All Blacks have made mistakes, namely the World Cup last year against England, where they named a team that maybe some of those players shouldn't have started playing.
Yeah.
Playing an Eddie Jones coached England team. I think they played a game that they shouldn't have been playing against England. And I think they've learned from that. And I think now what they're going to do is understand that even though, let's say, someone like Geordie is great, Geordie's good against, your guys like Argentina who like to kick the ball. And, we want to play that, and maybe even South Africa to an extent, play that game where we're just going to get some meters, get down, and then, play it in the inside backs. But when you're starting to play teams like England or Wales, especially the French, you actually want someone like Damian McKenzie at the back. We're not kicking the ball, bro. We know that you like to kick it, but for, to try and disrupt us, and we're going to attack because your broken play is terrible. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting, man. Especially we've seen the squad. The All Black squad's amazing. But
I think this is also a good point to make as well, is that we now, with COVID in effect, it's basically something where, yes, this All Blacks team has been named, and we're gonna talk about that in our bonus point segment, but we now don't know when they're going to play. You've got basically all your All Blacks, except a couple, all playing Mitre 10 Cup right now. So they're obviously staying conditioned, and this is going to be the greatest Mitre 10 Cup season that we've seen in a long time.
Dude,
but we don't know
96.
when. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll pay that. But
that was a big year, bro.
it's gonna be something when we don't know when these All Blacks are gonna be. Look, you heard the coaches when Braden Ennor, he suffered an ACL injury. He's out for 9 months.
Dude, man.
I feel for that kid, but
great time to happen.
Yeah, they're not rushing back to go, we need to pick another center right now, because they're not going on tour anytime soon. They said that we're going to take the time to figure out who the best player is coming to the squad. So I think it's definitely something where, yes, the All Blacks team has been named and there is an opportunity to play certain players in different areas, but they've got a lot more time to evaluate that and go through film and see this will be the perfect matchup for this team and yada yada. But we spoke about. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
What we the back three, the 6, 7, 8 for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Does Sam Cane really deserve that number 7 spot?
No,
because bro,
he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Preach,
I can't argue the point. It's on one hand, I can 100% turn around and say his leadership without question, his dedication without question. He puts his body on the line every time.
Real.
Is he our best 7 though? We've both said it before. Hell no. Like you look at so many different players that could slot in that position. You've got Dalton, you've got a Kidder, you've got Hoskins that can even play, and those are 3 Auckland players, and you've still got Artie. You've got so many boys that can jump into that position that can play 7.
Yeah, so I think the problem that I have is what are we going to do? Because undoubtedly, Artie Severe is the best loose forward in the world right now.
Yep, agreed.
But then, you've got Ioane, who I think is the second best in New Zealand.
Yep, I'd say that too. He's developed a lot in his game. I think especially because he was such a pivotal part of the Blues for so long, and Hoskins coming in and taking that number 8 spot from him, I think that really lit a fire under his ass, and now he's really rearing to make his name known.
Yeah, and Satutu is the man.
Yeah,
Like, and I am going to be a bit biased here because I just feel as though those three players definitely bring the dynamic that's been lacking from the Kiwis back three since the days of Jerry Collins and Zinzan Brook. And, like just like cool, like snafflings are all well and good, but it's like, man, we're here to run straight and hit dudes. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the back three that I would name for an All Blacks team, and that was the North. That was the North back three. Like it was ridiculous.
And even watching that North South game, they were just better, man. Like across the paddock, they were fitter, they were faster. They made game changing. They were putting on hits, they were running the ball. So yeah, I mean, and this is no diss. Sam Cane's definitely world class, and he's obviously he's the All Blacks captain for a reason.
Yeah.
Do I think he plays 80 minutes? No. Do I think
not at the moment?
Maybe. I think he lasts a half, and the second half they're gonna have to switch it. But here's the problem: is like Papali'i is the man, bro.
Bro, he's killing it. He plays so well.
Dude is insane, bro. He's so good.
Yeah.
Via so good. So it's like, okay, cool. What do you do then? Do you play Kane at 6? Or is he staying at 7? And then what do you do? Because, here's what could happen. They could play Artie at 7, move Kane to 6. So then what do you do? Do you put Yuan at 8?
There's so many possibilities. There's so many possibilities that you can do. But
it's ridiculous. It's amazing. Yeah. Again,
I
think anything from the South. I'm just saying.
I think that's where we made a good point, though, is that, when I spoke about it, is we have time to figure these kind of situations out. So if you're going to try and put these players in positions, why not do it now? When you basically, I know the importance now is to come back and say, hey, we're still New Zealand. Although we lost a World Cup, we're still class personified. We're still the greatest rugby team ever. But use this time to develop your younger players and do that kind of stuff where you can put players in different positions. So,
man, I'm just saying they should have had a best of 3 series, and we would have been.
Okay, so that was my question. So before we even talk about the last play of the game, which ultimately I'll bring you context, and I'll let you know what happened with me when I was watching it, because I was watching it with 3 other guys, and it was a great game. But should this be an annual series where it's just one game, or should it be a best of 3 contest?
Best of 3. End of the year, best of 3. That's your All
Black
selection.
There's a lot of argument, and especially from a lot of camps in New Zealand, that are saying that it should just be just the one game. And I'm saying 100% it should be a best of 3.
Here's the thing, right? You go best of 3. The coaches for each team get to choose their team, and then Fozzie's allowed, and the All Black selectors are allowed to say, we want to see this guy in this position, see this guy in this position for game 2. And then game 3, back to the coaches.
Well, this is the thing. It's a lot of people because in traditions past, it's been the All Blacks trial. So that's how. But should it be an All Blacks trial? Should the All Blacks coaches be the coaches? Should you get someone like a Razor or someone into the South team, or should you get?
Here's the problem with that: is the All Black coaches and selection panel need to be indifferent. We can't have an allegiance to North or South.
I agree.
And and it's just like it's North versus South, bro. It's that's you grow up like that. Like if you're in Auckland,
there's a lot of tribalism. Yeah, definitely.
100%. Like people in Waikato, though, when you play Mitre 10, like you're trying to kill Auckland, bro. Like if you're in counties, you may real simply, if you're from South Auckland, you're Polynesian, and you play for Auckland in the Mitre 10 Cup, you're a sellout, bro. You should be playing for counties, right? That's what it's at right now. Let's take a whole North Island club level mentality like that, and South Island mentality. Like, bro, this is bragging rights beyond anything else. The All Black selectors know who they're looking at. Super Rugby, they know who they're choosing, right? Yeah. All we're doing for this North-South game is giving an insight to the possibilities of what could be.
Okay,
And it's like, bro, you make a lot of money, man. You have one game in Auckland, one game in Dunedin, and then the third game you split each year. Maybe it's Welling, and the next time,
they'd be sold out. All
in
of them be sold out.
Christchurch. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, so I think it needs to happen. I'm a big fan of it. I didn't have my thirst was not quenched because at 80 minutes I wanted more. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I agree. So
That was better than State of Origin.
Oh, okay. Hold that. Pause that right there on State of Origin.
Pause.
Okay. So I briefly want to talk about this last play because obviously context. I was in a house in Ojai in California, hot as balls, watching it with 4 rugby heads, and in the back room, one of our friends, Nick, his kid was having a nap because obviously we watched it the following day. It was we got on it the night before. It was a great night, but we watched it the next day. We were sitting there. We were quiet the whole time when we were watching it. And then 80 minutes entertained right down to that final second when we saw Josh Ioane kick that kick. And although I do feel for Mitch Hunt because it was a mismatch, Will Jordan's incredible. That final play just sums up how amazing that game was. It's literally anyone can take it. And we all erupted and woke up the kid. And we were sitting there just going, oh my God, we woke up the kid. But that was the most amazing play. And oh my
dude.
Oh.
I'm not even lying. I'm pretty sure I heard R. Kelly in the background going, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. That was when he did it. As soon as he kicked it, I was like, oh my God. And then Will Jordan's just like, dun, 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 dun. It's like slow motion, Chariots of Fire. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Well, Okay, so you said State of Origin. So this is something that I really want to talk about, and I think is something that could be a very big win for the ARU if they were to do something similar. So I was speaking to my mates over the weekend, 2 of them Australian, 1 American, and while we were watching the game, we were thinking New Zealand has North-South game. Why can't Australia do something to boost awareness of the game? We came up with State of Origin match for Union. So the rules would be just like rugby league. If you're from Queensland and you play for the Waratahs, so like for example, you've got Carmichael Hunt, or you've got Fletty Kaitu'u, who plays for the Western Force, or Andrew Muirhead, who plays for the Brumbies. You can all be selected for this game. But the one thing that we all agreed is that it has to be some sort of rebrand. So it can't be like the New South Wales Waratahs, because then it cuts into the Waratahs team, and then you have to have some like a New South Wales origin side and Queensland origin side. Is this something, because obviously Queensland and New South Wales players, they love going against each other and fans love it. Is this something that could be a potential booster for the ARU?
100%. 100%. It's not even bro, can you, dude, this would be insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like, insane. Like, you get to choose. Let's be really honest right now. Without Queensland, Australian rugby would be up shit's creek, because we have developed that many good players in Queensland that have gone elsewhere.
Exactly.
Within Australia. And I'm not taking anything away from New South Wales system. I'm just saying the Red system is a proven working facility to produce young rugby players.
Well, you look at it. The proof is in the pudding. How many Nudgee and Brisbane State High players, both schools we went to, are playing for multiple Super Rugby teams all over Australia? That's it.
So I think this works. I think it could definitely fit. I've always had the opinion they need to scrap the mid-season test matches. I think what they need to do is Super Rugby finishes, usually finishes around about August, right? At the absolute latest, August, usually mid-July.
Yeah.
That's where you have we're going to have that State of Origin series. Because, again, the Wallaby selectors already know who they're looking at. And then, we play from our test matches sort of September, October, and then you still got November, December off, back into preseason sort of mid-December. Do you know what I mean? This is also what I think too, and a lot of people are against it. I think professional rugby players get too much of a break in the Southern Hemisphere. In the Northern Hemisphere, you honestly get like 10 weeks and that's it. And if you're getting paid 300, 400, 500, $600,000 a year, my G, you should be working just like the rest of
Yeah,
us.
but that's the argument though. It's you look at how much the other players are getting paid comparatively to a lot of Australasian teams or countries. They're getting paid. I don't know what Bowden Barrett obviously is. Take him out of the equation. You've got some high class players. They're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, but then you've got England players who are playing one test match and they're earning, I think they got a pay cut. They're still earning $32,000 a game, and that's pounds. So I think that's something where the,
$70,000 Australian.
I do agree with that in some aspect. They do get a bit too much of a break. But on the other end, these players on the other side, they're getting paid so much money that
Yeah.
they need to earn that. You can't just sit there
Yeah.
and just go, "Oh, I'll
I,
pay you a few million."
yeah, man. I completely see that side of the argument too.
Mm,
But nonetheless, do I think State of Origin would work?
hell yeah.
Dude, it would be amazing. And you know what? It would rub rugby league up the wrong way, and we would sell
Oh,
out, and we would make so much money, man.
yeah, 100%.
So much money, bro.
Okay,
Like
well, I want to jump in. I want to talk about this bonus point segment
let's do it.
real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay, so but well, we have to do a prediction. So last week I was the loser. I picked the Brumbies against the Reds, and I will be getting burpees as soon as I can. This
My
heat
dear.
has been terrible. If anybody doesn't know, California is literally on fire right now. So I got hit in the face with ash today. So waiting for the heat to cool down. So let's
That's
just
fine,
then
man.
I'll get the
That's
burpees
cool.
out.
We can
But
bank
this
'em. We
week
can bank 'em.
this week we only have one game to predict. It's number 2 versus number 3. We got the Rebels going up against the Reds. We'll flip that. Reds going up against Rebels, 2 versus 3. And I know who you're picking for this game.
You
It's
sure
the
do,
Reds.
buddy.
Yeah.
Sure
So
do.
I'm gonna make this interesting. I'm gonna back the Rebels because I want that. I just want that fairy tale ending.
Again, I've said it earlier. If I could slap you through this computer, I would.
Bro, I don't know if it's I'm on a fitness buzz right now, or I don't care if I do burpees, or if I think Matt Tamua is on fire right now. But I'm backing.
They don't count if you're having tequila in between burpees, bro.
Why are
Yes,
you
they
ruining-
do.
Why are you
Yes,
ruining
they
my
do. They
system?
still count.
Why are you ruining my system? But, okay,
It's just called efficiency, bro. I'm getting drunk and fit.
That's actually a good one. I've done that before, and it's actually absolutely terrible. But yeah, okay. It's it's called the bonus point for a reason. In today's bonus point segment, it's all around the recent All Black selection. So just before we get into that, I just want to say big shout out to the Farah Palmer Cup. They went back into their competition last week. One example, Counties Manukau, they beat who I can't remember who they played, but the Counties Manukau Heat, they beat them by 70 points or something like that. It was North
Bro, the
Harbour.
counties
They
team this
played
year
North Harbour.
is stacked, bro.
But when you've got a team that has always been strong, and then you add Ruby Tui to that team, although she can't play 80 minutes, she's freaking gangster. But yeah, okay, let's talk about this All Blacks game. So following the North-South game, the All Blacks named a 35-man squad.
Yep.
Shout out Braden Enor, who ruptured his ACL.
Love
But for the upping test match schedule, and in the squad they named, there is a lot of All Blacks experience in the ranks, but a lot of fresh blood. So just to name a few, we've got guys like Hoskins, Satutu, Cullen Grace, Quentin Strange, and obviously Will Jordan and Caleb Clark. So a few new guys, a few fresh blood. But the two people that I'm looking forward to the most, we spoke about them, Clark and Jordan. Without a doubt, they have been both phenomenal this year. And we saw their performance in the North-South game. They can hold their own in a high-performance game. It's not just Super Rugby. They played that. But do you see them being able to handle themselves when they're playing against an England or a South Africa at full strength?
So honestly, I don't think Will Jordan can do it. I think he's just not. He doesn't have an all-round game that can handle it. I don't think. I think he shined this year because he's played plays that he knows.
That's a good point.
I think Caleb Clark, I think he will 100% start on the wing for the All Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
He's a different breed, man, altogether. Out of all the new debutants, he's the one guy that he's got superstar in him.
And we got to factor in as well. He's got international test experience playing at the sevens level, and obviously that's different than playing 15s. But he's got that experience.
He has that experience, and I think even that off the kickoff, right? What you saw there was a young man that was so calm and so confident, dude. And again, I think I think the world of Will Jordan. He had a breakout season this year for the Crusaders. I just think though he doesn't have that confidence to really like not second guess himself. I'm not saying not backing himself. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is not second guess. And that second guess, when it comes to elite athletes and superstars, that's that 1 second, that 0.5 of a second that determines whether you actually make it or you don't. And I think Caleb has it because of his previous international experience.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Will Jordan's done enough to prove to me, myself, that he can do it, because I don't think Will Jordan can perform without a great backline. And he's been very fortunate coming through the ranks that he's always had great backlines.
Well, yeah, that's very true. So I will give him credit. I will give him benefit of the doubt just because he's had such a great season. But you are right. He's played with the Tasman Markor and he had a great backline in them, and they won the title. He's coming to the Crusaders. You don't even have to say how great the Crusaders are. So I think and not to take anything away, he's played under 20s as well for New Zealand, so he does have some international test experience.
He's amazing.
Yeah. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But we have seen in the past, All Blacks, they make their debut and they just don't perform. Or over the course of their whole career, they just can't get it done. So I'll wait and see. And we're in uncharted territory. So it's a lot 100%. Of stuff we just don't know.
I just want to add too, like, Silver Reese is clearly one of the best wingers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
His season was a little up and down, but when he shined, you were like, bro, this dude is untouchable.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm marking it to, like, at what level. Do I think Will Jordan outplayed Silver Reese this year? No. But he still had an amazing year. Do I think Caleb Clark did? Yes. Do I think Caleb Clark is the best winger in the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition? Hands down, without a doubt. Do I think that he deserves the starting spot and can handle it? 100% yes.
So many questions you're asking yourself. So many questions that you're answering yourself. You're just like, do I think this? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yes. But that's what I mean. Like, I would love to, you know what I would like to see? The backline I would like to see Will Jordan in would be with Bowden at 10 and Mackenzie at fullback.
Oh, okay. Okay. So hold that. So this is the question that I do want to ask. So the selection of this squad, it's put a lot of question marks on people who will be starting in potential test matches. So we've obviously got a couple of positions that are pretty much a given. Well, I thought it was a given. And we've spoken about frustrations regarding the All Blacks captain, obviously not being the best man for the position. But one of those positions I think is pretty much locked up is the number 10 jersey. Because you've got Richie, who's he's the number 10. He's just been playing in Super Rugby. And I know that obviously he comes in the Crusaders, but we could see a seasoned veteran like Bowden Barrett, who's played a lot of tests for the All Blacks, spending a lot of tests on the bench because he won't get the starting spot for the 15 as well, I don't think. So although it's a selection headache, it's a great headache to have. But what do you think? So you've got the younger brother potentially starting at 15 and you got Bodie spending time on the bench. How do you see this happening?
So I'll answer your question and then I'll go back to my point with Will.
You go.
What's going to happen is Aaron Smith's going to start at 9. They're going to play Richie Mo'unga at 10. They're going to have...
You don't think TJ will start at 9?
No,
after his game on the weekend?
I think Aaron Smith had the best game he's had all year in that.
Ooh, I am going to disagree with you on that one because this was an All Blacks trial, and he did He did quick taps. He threw passes he wouldn't have thrown in a regular Test match game. He needed to prove himself in that.
And I think he did though. And this is what I'm going to say is the pace of the game was so much. They started on the best foot, the North team, in that second half. I'm also going to say his route running during the game is the reason why the backs had so much width and had quick ball.
Well, you saw that try he scored. Basically,
exactly.
he passed it straight. He did not hesitate to take 20 meters straight through because he knew that Caleb Clark was going to come through and set him up for that 100%. One. Yeah.
And I think, and don't get me wrong, I think TJ's been the best halfback all year round.
Thanks, mate.
TJ's
I
always been my favorite. Yeah, we've agreed that he should be the starting All Black. But this is what I think will happen with the selections that they've got is they're going to start Aaron Smith. They're going to put Richie there at 10. The 12 selection that's up in the air. I mean, that's a tough one because I think there's so many options.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
also think that Rico Yuan is locked in 13. I mean,
Yep.
no matter how good, what's his name, Bridge, and what's the old mate's name? I've totally forgot his name. Mullet with the mullet.
Goodhue. See,
Goodhue.
I think he's going to be in at 12. Goodhue.
Yes, I mean, let's just pencil him in there.
Yeah.
Rico there, Caleb on one wing, Serbu on the other, and then Mackenzie at fullback.
Oh,
And
okay.
The reason why I say this is because Geordie will be better at 10 than Mackenzie would be with that back line if Bowden got injured.
I was very confused. I was like, where is he going? Why Geordie at 10 now? I was so confused. Because
I'm just
Bodie's
thinking
injured.
because that's the back line that they'll be able to use.
Yeah.
Sorry. If Richie got injured, sorry. I've got that all mixed up. Mackenzie at fullback, Bowden coming off the bench because if Richie gets injured, Bowden's obviously the better option.
I was sitting there so baffled by that point because Geordie's played. Geordie has played one test at 10 in the World Cup.
10.
Yeah, but it was against like a tier 3 team, and I was like, you're putting
10.
Geordie at 10.
Yeah. Because I just fear that, like, and you could say start Bowden at 15, and then Mackenzie comes on, and then you push Bowden to 10. I just think that if they're going to play that, if you're going to start Aaron Smith at 9, and they're going to play that attacking, fast-paced game, you want Richie there. Nothing against Bowden Barrett, but you saw that he couldn't keep that pace.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
This is the first game that he's played. Well, I don't think he's played any for the Blues this year. But this is the first real test that he's played at 10 all year.
But I suppose, like, having said that, you start TJ, I'd prefer Bowden at 10.
Yeah, okay.
But then, where do you put Richie? Do you know what I mean? It's like such like a it's
like
the Sopawanga experience all over again.
Yeah, we said it. It's a headache, but it's a selection headache that you want because it's not something you can sit there and go, oh crap, we've only got one player. Where are we going to put everyone else?
So then, like, let's like, this is how I think they're going to do it. They're going to treat it like an NBA team, right? Richie Mo'unga, you need to build your backline around that. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think right now, Ioane and Caleb Clark are in that backline. I think it doesn't matter who's at 9 in regards to, like, when you build your team. But I also think that then if you got Goodhue at 12, he needs to be switched on because you got a very crazy fast dynamic backline, and that and his ball distribution isn't the fastest.
Yeah, it's not. He's definitely more of a carry first, pass later kind of 12, which is something you can use.
And like, just Anton Leonard-Brown should not be in the team at all. I'm just going to say.
See, this is a really painful topic. We've spoken about it all season. You've been hating on him more than me. Like I've been honest. You've just been freaking cruel.
With him.
You've just been cruel. So bro, I love
supported him. I was pro him for so long, and he's just continually let me down. You know what he is? He reminds me of, like, the girlfriend you got rid of, but then you're like, should I got rid of her? And then she's like, babe, look, I can do. And then she's like good for like a month, and then like you're like, nah, I'm done.
Okay, I know he had a rough season, but we're not going to put that stain on his name. Okay, I'm not going to open this can of worms. We're moving on. I'm leaving it there. Okay, we've got one more point. We're leaving Leonard Brown over on the side. Don't you touch him.
He's on the sideline with LeBron James. Gotcha. He's over there chilling. Got you.
Shut up. You're a dick. Leave ALB alone. He's a great player. Shut up. Okay.
I'm not saying he's not a great player.
I know. But leave him alone. Okay, just leave it alone. Okay. All right.
I do love him though. I love my Chiefs.
Last point. This selection has put a lot of question marks for me, especially we spoke about it on important test matches. But there's a couple of things that I was frustrated about. You obviously are spoiled for riches. It's something that you sit there and go, okay, yep, you've got a lot of great talent. But the third hooker chosen, This is something I'm very pissed off
I
about
know
because
it was
you've got Cody Taylor, you've got
have
Dane
to
Coles, very
have to.
experienced All Blacks hookers. That's fine. Leave them there. But we've both been strong advocates for Ash Dixon to receive
We
that
have
third spot.
we
If
have.
you were going to do it, this is the year. You've got nothing to lose. COVID is on. Give him a shot. He's been there. He's performed for the Māori All Blacks so consistently. He had a great season. I'm so passionate about this. But
Dude,
but then on the other hand, you've got Almua. So
I'm
he's
more.
not a scrub. He's a great player. But I thought this opportunity, it was Ash Dixon's time. Or he had put so much mana and so much pride into that season. This was his time. But okay, so this is my question. Do you think that
Ooh,
Almua's All Blacks?
touchy.
Oh my God, seriously, don't even get me started. So, well, you've already got me started. But Almua's All Black experience or his explosiveness and his power, is that something that put him over the edge for Dixon, do you think? Or what was the reason?
I honestly think that he played better than Ash Dixon during the game.
What?
I also think Ash Dixon had a greater season than him.
Well, okay, so that's I think that's two different arguments. So I think if you based it all on the North South game, Ash
Yeah.
Dixon got very limited time.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. Ash Dixon, I think, had a better season. But then you've got the flip side of that. Almua played a fraction of that season.
Yeah.
So he didn't get an opportunity to showcase himself in a full capacity. So
Yeah. I think yeah, here's the thing. Like looking at the All Black selections for the forwards, they're clearly going for mobile, agile.
Mhm.
Do I think Ash Dixon fits that? No. But do I think that he's imperative in a tough scrum? Yes.
Yeah.
I think at set pieces, he's 100% better than Almore. Without even a question. But
Do you think though, because at this time with the selections, do you think that they're trying to go young and develop the talent,
100%.
and they don't care about it?
But this is what annoys me with that selection is that I do believe Ash Dixon deserves the shot, not because like he's done the hard yards, because he's actually that good. I just think that looking at the selections that they've made, it's pretty clear they're going to play an expansive game, fast pace, and they're trying to up what they did last year, where they sort of chose safe would be the word, I think. Having said that, the Almore selection can bite them in the ass big time. I also don't think Cody Taylor was outstanding this year.
What? Oh,
That's just me.
okay. So it's basically we've turned this into a debate show. Okay, yeah, let's just do that.
That's just me. I'm just saying. I think Ash Dixon had.
I
Really
wouldn't say Cody Taylor was the best hooker of the Super Rugby season, but like because I would probably give that to Dane Coles. I think Dane Coles is.
I think Dane Coles wins every time. Your hooker needs to be a grub. The fact that he's a grub that can run 100 in like 12 seconds,
yeah, he's
catch
the
a
biggest
ball and
grub.
pass it 50 meters, like, bro, you're allowed to be that cocky, my G.
Yeah, I'll pay that. But yeah, I think Cody Taylor. I think they relied on him a lot this season, so he got banged up a lot.
Big
So
time.
I don't think he had an opportunity to have a stellar season because he obviously the Crusaders are very stacked.
Yeah.
In that forward pack, they use Cody a lot. So
yeah. But dude, to answer your question, do I think Ash Dixon should have been in the squad? Yes, 100%. You know what would have been really cool to see is him packing against a Wallaby front row that consisted of Alatoa, Nella, and
what, Folau or who would you put there?
Folau in the middle. Yeah,
that would be amazing.
This is why I say this is because now you're going to get experience versus that young, tough, brash sort of player. And I just think that him and Coles, that's the experience that, it's like, man, we ain't going to bait. We're going to do this in the scrum, bite your ear, call your mom a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? To get that dominance in the scrum. I also think Ash Dixon's scrummaging is phenomenal. Like
that and his malls. Like,
dude, he's literally.
that's what I'm saying. It's COVID. Give him a shot. Like
Let the kids play. Let the kids play.
I literally think that this was his shot to just have a crack, and
Bro.
then next season they're just going to be like, "Yeah, he's too old now."
I don't wish injury on anyone. Cody Taylor playing Mitre 10 could be very harmful toward him because he's had a very big season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, well,
especially how he plays.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Who knows? We may yet see Ash Dixon in the All Blacks debut.
Okay, let's not put that in the universe, but I 100% agree. It's very dangerous.
Here. I'm just saying, it's been a big year for him.
Yeah, probability of
All
it.
Blacks to win and the best combinations to win, but I would love to see Ash Dixon in All Blacks jersey.
All right, well, let's stop talking about this because then I'm just going to keep getting frustrated. But big shout out because we got probably, as we said, the best Mitre 10 Cup season since '96 to start this weekend.
Ooh. And that's Friday night, right? It starts?
Yeah, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to watch it because I don't think ESPN Plus here is scheduling the Mitre 10 Cup game.
So you got my login for my Fox?
I keep forgetting that. Okay, yeah. But, yeah, great North-South game. All Blacks. Big shout out to the Tupou Vai video. Did you see that about when he got named the All Blacks and he sent it?
That's every Polynesian, bro. And I could tell you on behalf of on all Tongans, that's literally how. Like, I can't speak obviously for any other race, but as Tongans, that's a very real reaction where it's just like, because here's the thing that I think the Western world seem to forget is like the sacrifice isn't just the parents. You know what I mean? It's your siblings. Having to come to the games all the time. And, it's like even when I was playing, my sister's like, oh, again? And then you hear them, they're the loudest ones on the sideline. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a really real video. And I was just like, man, like even I teared up watching it. I was just like, man, that's beautiful. Like, that's such a great, humbling experience.
It really shows you, though, how much the jersey means. It's something where that is just a tier above anything else in New Zealand. That's why we love the game so much. Is because that jersey means so much.
I was explaining it to a friend of mine. He just started playing rugby in America, and he's like, "Oh man, can you give me some tips?" And he's like, "Man, the All Blacks, like, how do they?" Because he was watching a haka, and he's like, "Man, how did can you what's that about?" Like, and I'm like,
is that not amazing that that's the first thing that so many people go to when they want to start playing rugby is they watch the haka first, and then they watch the game after that?
Dude, and this is how I explained it to him. Like, bro, imagine Michael Jordan or Jackie Robinson going, "I'm giving you this jersey.
Yeah,
you need to be as good as me, and there will be a legacy." Like, that's the All Black jersey.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you got to imagine, like, that's it. And it doesn't matter if you play 5 minutes. Like, you are now a legend. Like, you played for the All Blacks. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, whoa, man, I've never thought to think of it like that. I'm like, because, that 23 jersey, like that 96 Game 6 23 jersey. And then Michael Jordan goes, this will be yours if you're good enough. Like, or Jackie Robinson going, we're not retiring 42.
Yeah,
we're gonna give you this. You get this. You're about to be the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, it's as soon as I saw that video, you are right from the Polynesian aspect. That's definitely something. It's not just the parents; it's the family that put their whole life on the line to make sure that this kid has that. I guess that streamline effect where they want them to go so far that they're going to sacrifice anything in their life. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. And here's for some perspective who guys don't know New Zealand rugby, literally once you start playing rugby from 12, 13 onwards, if you're in high school, that's 3 nights a week minimum. Training.
Minimum. Yeah.
Minimum. Like most kids, they're playing either club and school or school and league. So you're talking 7 days a week.
Yeah. You're
dragging and Polynesian families, we ain't small, fam. We're called the cars are called people movers because of this. Okay, so
I have seen so many Polynesian vans in my lifetime. It's ridiculous. I'm probably going to have one when I have kids.
I know, right? It was beautiful. It was great, and I can't wait to see him play this year either.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, great episode. Lots to look forward to. Hopefully, we will be able to see
Reds.
Oh my gosh! No, get out of here. Rebels are going to take this one. They got
Are you
it,
watching it at
baby.
home, or are you going to be up with the boys?
No, no, no. I'll be here. I'll be too sore to move. I'll just.
Maybe we should do a live video while watching it.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. I like that. Yeah, let's do that because that'll be a great game. I won't be able to be too loud because it'll be what 1 a.m. here, but it'll be
Oh yeah, would be my bad.
yeah. So we may do that if I could stay awake. Of course, all the time. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into another episode of Last Week in Rugby on the Bonus Point Rugby podcast. Definitely check out the Rugby Nation website. I will be posting more about their strength and conditioning program specific for rugby players. To look out for them. But yeah, stay tuned. We will be posting some more videos and thank you for tuning in. Have a good evening.